Let's kick off this session by diving into some of the most frequently asked questions that we have received over the years. We will cover all the key topics that you're curious about. After that, we'll turn our attention to the Q&A chat box and make sure to address any additional questions you may have. So we have some questions for Marianne regarding D2L and the first question, what is the learning management system and why do we need to use it?
Question. Sorry, good question. A learning management system is a software that provides additional support and resources and activities for your class. It may be a way for you to either receive those additional informations, drop boxes, quizzes, discussions, or it might be a place where you will find your online meeting links, etc. It's that sort of all-encompassing support. And it will be where your instructor posts course content, grades, and feedback for you to be able to access.
Awesome, thank you. Next question. Do I need to use iLearn or is attending classes in person enough?
So iLearn is the learning management system, and you absolutely need to use it. And it's best if you log in frequently to view your courses, your deadlines, your content, your news, and your updates, and make sure that you're up to date and that you have all of the course resources that you need.
Awesome. All right. When can I log into iLearn?
That's a good question. So new for this fall, iLearn student login has changed and now uses your Canadore issued Microsoft 365 credentials. So in order to access iLearn, you need to have your Microsoft account. Those generally get created for new students the day after you've registered in courses. So there's a bit of a delay between registering in courses and getting your schedule and then being able to access iLearn. So your username is now your Canadore issued email address that ends in @canadorestudents.ca. And if you haven't done so already, you can visit your self-service account and view your student email address under that email's link in self-service. And of course, if you're struggling with iLearn login, there's a number of resources on the login page, including a can't log in page, which will lead you through some troubleshooting advice.
All right, awesome. Is there a difference between iLearn Brightspace and D2L?
There is no difference. So the company D2L makes the product called Brightspace. Lots of institutions use Brightspace. Canadore uses Brightspace as its learning management system, and we have branded it iLearn. So when we talk about our instance of Brightspace, we call it iLearn. It's all the same thing here at Canadore.
When will my classes be available on iLearn?
So although you may be able to log into iLearn now, or once your Microsoft account is created, you will have access to the site, but you won't have access to your classes until the start date of those classes. Typically, this is the beginning of the semester. So for this semester, many of your classes will be available starting September 3rd. However, if you don't see a course in iLearn that you expect to be there, check your schedule or your registration self-service for those course start dates so you know when to expect it.
Awesome. If my class is online, how will I join it? Where do I find the link to join the class?
Also very good question. Online class times generally will occur in either Zoom or Teams. And where those meeting links occur will be up to your instructor. They may post them in different areas, but typically they'll be either posted in your course news feed or in the content area and should be fairly clearly prominently posted, I guess. Recommend that if you still can't find a meeting link, reach out to your instructor.
Awesome. And last question for you, Marianne. What is the Pulse app and is the Pulse app useful?
The Pulse app is a mobile application created by D2L for its product Brightspace. So it integrates seamlessly with our iLearn environment. You download it from your app store, log into it in the exact same way that you log into the iLearn website, and it's very useful. It's the mobile version of iLearn, and it will display your courses in a mobile-friendly, a device-friendly way. And honestly, it's the most reliable and efficient way to get notifications and updates for all of your courses.
Thank you so much, Marianne. I'm going to turn it over to Talha to ask more questions.
Well, we have some questions for IT, and Mr. Wilson is here to answer them. So we'll start first with, what is bring your own device policy and is it mandatory?
So the bring your own device policy is a It's a program delivery model that requires the students to have a computer that meets the minimum technical specifications for the program that they're attending. It is mandatory for students attending Canadore, as they will need their own technology device to meet or exceed technical requirements for their programs. We do have a document on our website on the Bring Your Own Device page on canadorecollege.ca, and this details what kind of computers and the minimum requirements that would be needed for your program.
What type of laptop should I get? Do I need to use what is listed on the BYOD requirement guide? Or like, can I use a Mac if it says PC?
So similar to the answer above, each program may have a different hardware requirement for the computers that you use. Some programs may prefer you use a Mac, for example, media courses or TV program courses, but they do note that not all software may be compatible between Windows and Mac. So it's usually best to take the recommendation on the BYOD document. And if you have any further questions, you're always welcome to contact the program coordinator who's listed in the document, who will be able to answer any questions regarding really specific softwares or needs that you might have for your program.
Wonderful. Do students need to have a printer on campus, or are students able to print on campus?
So students are welcome to have their own personal printer on campus. We no longer have permanent open labs at our College Drive campus. The rooms D237 and D242 are now flex classrooms and computer labs. So they can be used for computer access when a class is not present. Should you drop by any of those two rooms and a class is present, please be respectful of the class and its students and return at a later time when the room is available for use. Do note you cannot print from personal machines. You can only do so on the computers in the lab when they're available. We do still have open labs available at Commerce Court in W156 or in room E204 and at Aviation in room Y204.
Thank you. Well, we have next question, which says, should we have antivirus software on our devices? What antivirus software do you recommend?
So we advise that you do use antivirus software to keep yourself protected. We can't recommend a specific antivirus software, but there are many reliable companies that do offer antivirus services.
Well, next question is something that a lot of students ask. What happens if my laptop breaks down?
Okay. So usually what I suggest to students is that they be preemptive in case of a possible problem. So to help prevent that kind of stuff, the best thing to do would be to save all of your work in something like Google Drive or OneDrive. So that way, if you do have your computer fail, all of your schoolwork is in a cloud service, which keeps you protected. If a failure should occur, there are many local businesses in town that do offer repair services, but unfortunately, the service desk can't provide repair assistance for personal devices, but we can maybe advise you.
Well, another important one. Do you Canadore student get free access to Office 365, and how can we access it?
Yes, so as a Canadore College student, you are entitled to the use of Microsoft 365 while you're enrolled. Each student is assigned a at canadorestudents.ca email address before the start of their semester, and students will have access to this email and Office 365 while they're actively enrolled. If you are no longer enrolled because you've either graduated or you're taking a semester break, your account does get deleted. If you enroll again, your account will be reinstated, but any previous data you might have on the account will be gone. It is advised to students that if they use their Canadore student email, that they not keep any important personal information on the account for that reason. We do have a section on our website that does detail the guide on how to access your Microsoft 365 account.
Well, talking about email, what is my Canadore email address? Do I need to use this email, or can I still use my personal email?
So your Canadore email address is under the at canadorestudents.ca email domain. Each student is provided a email for accessing Microsoft Office and other Canadore resources while you're attending. This email can be determined under self-service. There is an email section. Under that email section, you will see an authentication email listed. On there, we also have a guide that's available on the website for those processes. You aren't obligated to use your Canadore student email, But day to day, you will need to use it for some of the following resources: accessing Computer Lab, using iLearn, Office 365, accessing some library resources, Connect 2 for taking out media equipment, and Accommodate for student success.
Thank you.
Mhm.
What is MFA and SSPR?
Canadore is now using MFA, or multi-factor authentication. And SSPR is for self-service password reset. These are both features for your Microsoft account. For MFA, it does affect you signing into some applications. So when you first sign into your Microsoft account, you will be asked to register a phone number with that account. Once you've registered that phone number with that account, when you go to sign in, you may get prompted to provide a code that has been texted to that phone number. That is MFA. Should you be stuck in a situation where you cannot sign in your Microsoft account, you can reset your password at any time without the intervention of the IT department. What you do is you just choose the reset password option, and it will send a code to your cell phone like it does for MFA. You can then enter in that code, and it can change your password for you.
No, that should be helpful. When should I contact the IT department? What is the best way to contact IT?
Yeah, you should contact IT if you're having any issues with any resources that are managed by us. So things like having problems with your Canadore student email. Like I had mentioned in the question previous, for MFA, you do have to register a phone. Sometimes there can be situations where you might break your phone or your phone number might change. In that case, you can contact us for assistance so that we can get you back into your account. We can assist with you having issues with self-service. If you're trying to sign in to take a look at your schedule. We can help you if you're having issues logging into the library website. We can help you if you're having issues in the computer lab, or if you're trying to print and are having problems in the computer labs as well. Our best contact is our email, and that's service.desk@canadorecollege.ca, or you can call us by phone at the Canadore College main line at 705-474-7600, and we're extension 5800. But you can also drop by our campus location at College Drive in room D228 and the D wing near the Hugo Hall entrance. And we're here Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. To help you out.
Thank you. I have one last question, I think, which concerns all the students on the campus. Is there Wi-Fi on campus, and how do I access it?
Yes, so the Wi-Fi on campus has changed from previous years. We are no longer using the Canadore students Wi-Fi for regular access. We're now using the wireless called EduRoam. When a student needs to access the wireless, they can select EduRoam and it will ask them to sign in. Like their student email, they will sign in with their student email at canadorestudents.ca, which they can check in self-service, like I mentioned earlier, and their student email password to sign in. That will give them access to EduRoam while they're here. Do be aware that your password for your student email stays only valid for every 90 days. So you can always reset it yourself by signing into a computer on campus, or you can use the SSPR feature if you're having problems.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emerson. That was very helpful. I have a few set of questions for concerning campus health center, and Ms. Ellen Mitchell would help us with those. To start with, is there a health center on campus? How do I access the health center?
Yes, there is a campus health center at the College Drive campus. The College Drive campus health center is located in room B205. It's right beside security, between security and the bookstore. We do sometimes go to the other campuses when we are offering flu shot clinics, things like that, and we will support students with trying to have remote appointments as well as needed, or telephone appointments. But we are open Monday to Friday, and we usually have one, maybe two evening clinics a week as well, just to give availability to students who are in classes during the day. And we are able to, you're able to reach us by telephone, email. Our email address is campushealth@canadorecollege.ca. And also you can just walk in to ask us questions, and we're available for any questions that you might have.
Thank you. What are services that are provided at Campus Health Center?
So the campus health center is like a doctor's office kind of here in town when you're coming from out of town and your family doctor is in your home area. So if you do have a family doctor, we want to try and support you seeing your family doctor if you need a quiet space to have a video appointment, or if your doctor needs us to assist, maybe getting a blood pressure for you, something like that. So we can support you still being able to use your family doctor from your home area. But we also, if you don't have a family doctor, or it's something urgent that you're not able to see your family doctor, we can support you here in the Campus Health Center. We do have a physician that works on site. It's the same doctor all the time. It's not like a walk-in clinic where you would see someone different. Other services available, we do blood work here on campus, any vaccines. We also have a temperature controlled fridge. Some students have medication that needs to get shipped to them and needs to stay in a temperature controlled fridge. So we can assist with that. We also do things like allergy injections. Some of the students store their allergy serum in our fridge and come in for regular allergy injections. We draw blood here in the campus. So if you have seen the doctor and he wants to get some blood work done, we can do that for you right in the office. Or if your family doctor from back home wants you to have some blood work done, we can assist you with that and do that here in the campus. So normal types of visits, we see lots of students for birth control options, STI testing, bladder infections, sore throat, things like that. And then any maintenance if you have an ongoing health concern and you need a checkup or medications. Again, we do try to, have you working with your family doctor and support you in the best way that we can for that as well. We do have a website through Canadore, so you can always check that out. Our email and contact information is there as well if you need a little bit of support. We also have a smoking cessation program. If you're looking to talk to someone about quitting smoking or trying to reduce, you can come in, book an appointment. We can go through some options with you if it's a prescription you need. As available, we have nicotine patches and gum as well to support you with that. So it's another service that we offer as well.
Thank you very much. This should be very helpful. I would let you, Jade, take over for domestic health plan.
All right, so we have a few questions for you, Lise, about the domestic health plan. The first question is the student health plan mandatory for domestic students, and how do I pay for health insurance?
Okay, so yes, the student health plan, all students are charged the fee, but those of you who have coverage with a parent or guardian or elsewhere can opt out of the health plan. You will do so in the window. So there's a switch plans opt-out window, and you want to make sure you don't miss that deadline. So that is between September 19th and October 1st that you can actually go onto the GuardMe website and complete the opt-out process, and then they will your refund will come from GuardMe, guard.me.
Awesome. Next question. If I already have coverage, am I able to opt out of the student health plan?
Yes, so that's when you would do the opt-out. And you're also at that time frame in the opt-out window, you can, if you don't want to opt out, you can switch plans. So there's 3 different levels of coverage. There's balanced, enhanced, and I'm forgetting the third one, the extended, enhanced extended. So there's 3 different options. Everyone's auto-enrolled into the first one. So students can choose to switch the plans within that window or completely opt out with proof of coverage. Or that's when, you can also add a dependent and do all those things.
Awesome. That's definitely good information to have for sure. Next question. When will my coverage start and how will I know what I am covered for?
Okay, so all students, their plan will start the September 1st. The coverage that you have automatically is you're all enrolled into the balanced plan. So the that window, like I mentioned earlier, where you can switch plans. If you go onto the guard.me website, you can see the different plans that are listed there. again, everyone's auto-enrolled in the first one, so you don't have to do anything if you want to stay in that one. Some are more, there's more coverage in the prescription. There's more coverage in the extended services like physio. So if you're a varsity athlete and you might need physio and massage therapy, you might want to switch to that extended. And then there's a balanced plan in the middle that has coverage, balanced out with the prescriptions and the extended services. So like I said, everyone's start September 1st and it goes right through till August 31st. So if you don't do anything and you leave the plan as is, you're covered right through, and you can submit everything right online, your receipts through the guard.me website.
Awesome. All right. Last question for you, Lise. Can I apply for a family member to be covered?
Yes. So in that opt-out switch plans window, again, you can apply to add a family member, a dependent. So everything's done right through the GuardMe website as well there. And I'm trying to paste the brochure, but perhaps somebody has uploaded the link for the new one, but everything is listed in there on, all the instructions on how to opt out, how to add a family member, the different plan coverages. So I'm going to try to paste it again, but somebody may have already done that for us. Yes, right there. So it's in the link there in the chat.
All right, thank you very much, Lise. I'm going to turn it over to my co-host Tal to ask more questions.
Well, the next set of questions is for International Health Plan, and Ms. Marley would help us answer these questions. The first question is the student health insurance mandatory for international students? And how can I purchase health insurance?
So the international health insurance plan is mandatory for all international students. The international students at Canadore College can benefit from including in this health insurance plan with GuardMe as well, which is a leading provider of health insurance services. So this plan is mandatory and it's included as part of your student ancillary fees. So that is how you pay for it. You've already paid.
Then when will my coverage start, and how will I know what am I covered for?
Great question. So your GuardMe insurance policy will begin from the first day of the month that you begin your studies. For example, if you begin your studies in September, your policy will be active from September 1st. If you arrive in Canada within 14 days before your policy start date and do experience a medical emergency, you will be covered under the terms and conditions of the policy. Your coverage can be found in your account and through the GuardMe Canadore portal that notes the emergency and non-emergency benefits included in Canadore College's GuardMe International Health Plan. This plan covers 100% of reasonable and customary charges to treat an eligible emergency sickness or injury, including the cost of an ambulance, hospitalizations, clinic visits, and medically necessary surgeries and diagnostic testing. This plan also includes many other benefits, and all students are encouraged to read through their benefit summary to learn more about the benefits included in the plan. Our benefits also include Mobile Doctor, which allows you to connect with Canadian doctors on Maple, a telemedicine company, as part of your benefits. Maple provides access to doctors Canada-wide on your phone, tablet, and computer anytime, anywhere.
Wow. So can I apply for a family member to be covered with this insurance?
Yes, if you are an international student and have been enrolled in the GuardMe plan, you can apply for coverage for your dependents. You can only apply for coverage for your dependents once you've received your certificate or policy number, and you'll receive this from a registration email from GuardMe about 14 to 15 days into the semester. To add a dependent, you can navigate to the Dependent tab on the GuardMe portal, and it will provide the following steps for you. Please be aware, however, that adding a dependent will charge the same amount as it was for your plan, and it will be an annual yearly fee.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Next, we'll talk more about international. And Jade, why don't you ask you the questions?
All right, moving right along. What is the international department?
Great question. So the international department provides support to all international students, including orientation to the local community, guidance on international health insurance coverage, and immigration-related matters through a dedicated team of international student advisors. We are here to help you connect to the right resources.
Awesome. Next question. When should I go to the international office, and where can I find the international office?
So you are welcome to come to the international office for any queries related to study permit questions, the International Health Plan, and international events. But we can also assist in directing and guiding you to the appropriate resources on matters such as mental health and wellness services, financial accommodations, and international student housing. You can find the international office at Commerce Court in E101 and at College Drive campus in C210.
Awesome. Can the international office help with immigration questions?
So Canadore College has a RISIA and RCIC licensed staff member that can help with questions related to study permits, work permits, and temporary resident visas related to those permits.
Awesome. Next question. Can I drop into the office or do I need to book an appointment?
So you can drop into the office. However, we do prefer for you to book an appointment to ensure you're able to have an appointment on that day at the time that works best for you. Our appointment bookings will be through iSucceed.
Awesome. And last question for you, Marley. How do I sign up for international events?
So international events, along with all the other events on campus, are tons of fun, and we recommend for you to join them. The International Office hosts various events throughout the year that are open to all students. You'll get the opportunity to sign up for events through iSucceed and can watch our Canadore social media and iSent notifications to see when the next event will be. The upcoming International Student Orientation will be occurring on August 30th, and we recommend all incoming international students to join us for a fun-filled day.
All right, thank you so much, Marley. I'm going to turn it over to Talha so he can continue asking more questions.
Well, our next set of questions is for access and inclusion, and Ms. Erin would help us answer these questions. So the first one is, what is access and inclusion?
So access and inclusion is a great space for all students to obtain campus and community supports and resources. It's also a place where you can get involved, participate in various campus events and awareness days, workshops, and all of these promote equity, diversity, and inclusion for all.
Oh, wonderful. If I want to use my preferred name instead of my legal name, how do I do this?
So this is something that can be done once you're registered as a student. You can feel free to connect with me and I can guide you and support you through that process.
A very important question is, how do I know if I'm a first generation learner?
Great question. So a first generation student is one whose parents or guardians have not attended a post-secondary institution. So if you had a sibling attend, but your parents or guardians did not, then you are considered a first generation student.
Okay. If I want to know more about access and inclusion, how can I connect with the access and inclusion coordinator?
So you can connect with me via email at Erin, ERIN.Plourde, PLOURDE @canadorecollege.ca, or you can reach me by telephone at 705-474-7600, extension 5134, or you can come and meet with me in person. We are temporarily relocated across from the campus shop. And then once the renovations are done in the Welcome Center, you'll be able to find us up in behind twigs at the front of the campus.
Over to you, Jade.
All right, so I have some questions regarding Student Success Services for Alana. First question, what is Student Success Services and when should I go to Student Success Services?
Thanks, Jade. Student Success Services is available to all students on campus. Students who access our services come from a wide range of reasons, ranging from accessible learning services, academic accommodations, mental health support, and learning strategies, or are just looking for support in general. Students registering for academic accommodations must have a permanent or temporary documented disability. We can provide students with a student success profile that outlines their academic accommodations. We can provide referrals for psychoeducational assessments, assistive technology and training, accommodated testing, and we offer a variety of mental health resources from awareness events or short-term support, community referrals, that kind of thing. And in addition, we also have our international transition, retention, and support coordinators who provide support to our international learners on all campuses. You can come to Student Success at any time, but if you do need learning support, academic accommodations, or mental health, we ask that you come in sooner so we can get those supports in place for you. Our office is open from 9 to 4 during the academic year, and we're also available by phone, email, or you can walk in and see us to book an appointment.
Awesome. Is there a deadline to register with Student Success Services?
Not at all. There's no deadline. But again, if a student does have a documented disability and does require academic accommodations, we do recommend to come in as soon as possible and provide documentation to ensure that the services and supports are in place to be successful.
Awesome. If I'm going to Student Success Services for mental health support or counseling, will this show up on my transcript?
This is a really good question. And absolutely not. All of our services are strictly confidential. We do not disclose who uses our services or why. We must adhere to the guidelines set out by the Ontario Personal Health Information and Privacy Act. So we do need written consent before disclosing information.
That's very good to know. If I am having trouble in my classes, but I do not have a disability, what supports are available?
Students can still access learning and transitional support even if they do not have a documented disability. Students that might need support with time management or organization, study skills, note taking, anything like that, then they're still welcome to connect for learning support. And then we do have peer tutoring for a small fee.
Awesome. Are Student Success Services available at all campuses?
Yes, we support all campuses. We have an office and a resource center at College Drive, Commerce Court, and Aviation. For West Perry Sound students, we can connect virtually or by phone, and we do provide in-person accommodated testing. We are at that campus on a bit of a regular basis, but it's just not as often.
All right, and last question. Who are the International Transition Retention and Support Coordinators, and what do they do?
So that would be Jill and Ziad, and they support our international learners for a variety of supports. You're welcome to connect with them through iSucceed, and they are on the Commerce Court, Aviation, and College Drive campus.
Thank you very much, Elena. Now I'll be turning over to Talha to ask some more questions.
Next set of questions is for Center for Career and Development, and Ms. Shauna will help us answer these. Can domestic and international student work on campus? And how many hours can I work?
Great question. Absolutely. Campus jobs are open to all students, both domestic and international, enrolled in a full-time program that demonstrate a financial need and maintain a GPA of 2.0. During the school year, we have the Canadore Work Study program, and that's a part-time employment opportunity that works around your academic schedule and offers 10 hours a week paid at minimum wage. And then during the summer months, we offer the I Can Work program. That's for students that are in between programs or semesters, and it offers full-time employment at 35 hours a week for up to 15 weeks, also at minimum wage.
Thank you. How can I apply for on-campus jobs? When is the deadline to apply?
So the jobs, you can find them in the job portal, which is on the Canadore website. And applications will open on September 3rd, which is when they'll actually be loaded and listed in the job portal. You won't see them before then. The first step would be to go in there, find a job you're interested in. You'll find embedded in the posting itself a link for an eligibility form. You'll need to fill that out. It does take a little bit to get that process, but you'll get an email with a letter confirming your eligibility. And then you would send that along with your cover letter and your resume to the hiring manager that is listed in the job posting. And the deadline is September 13th.
Good to know. What other services are provided by the Center for Career and Development?
We pretty much offer anything related to employment. We can help provide feedback for your job search documents, like your resume, your cover letter, even your LinkedIn profile. We can help with your job search support, do mock interviews and other interview preparation. We do host networking events and offer entrepreneurship support as well as mentorship opportunities. And we also run the Canadore Volunteers, which is a co-curricular record that students can use to build a bit of a transcript that recognizes their volunteer work and the skills they've learned in those positions. And then we do also offer these services to our alumni for life.
These are very helpful information. Thank you very much. We'll move on to campus bookstore and parking. And Jade, why don't you ask these questions?
All right, so we have campus bookstore, parking, and bus pass questions for Kathy. How do I know what books I need for my classes?
Sorry about that. Thanks, Jade. So this information is available online. You can find out what books you need for each course by going to the Campus Shop website, select Canadore College and Fall 2024, then search for your course books by division, which is your campus, then department, which is your program, and all the courses that you have registered for. If no textbooks are required, or if the bookstore has not yet received information about what's required, this information will also be listed.
All right. That is awesome information to know. When is the bookstore open?
So currently the store hours are 8:30 to 4, Monday to Thursday, Friday 8:30 to 3. But it should be noted, sometimes there are extended hours in the early weeks of startup. So you'll be able to confirm that online at the Campus Shop website.
Awesome. Next question. Will the bookstore deliver to residents or other campuses for free?
No, there's not free shipping to residents, but there is in-store pickup available at the Perry Sound and College Drive campuses.
Awesome. If there are no textbooks showing up, does that mean I do not need a textbook for that specific course?
If no textbooks are required, or if the bookstore hasn't yet received the information about what's required, it'll be listed on the website. So just kind of let that be your guide when you look that up.
Awesome. Can you sell back your textbooks to the bookstore?
There is a buyback program available for students. The amount offered is based on the demand for the book as well as the condition of the book. A student ID and debit card is required to complete the transaction. If possible, they prefer to do it before semester startup or a couple of weeks after startup.
Awesome. Can you buy used books at the bookstore?
You can, yeah. There are new, used, and digital options available. There's often an option to rent or buy. If your course requires coursewares or online courses, please select new, as there's no guarantee that codes will still be in a used book. So renting is a good option, though, if the book is not needed for more than one term, and rental accounts can be set up online.
All right, thank you very much. How do I get a student card and when will it be ready for pickup? Where do I get it?
Okay, so student cards are actually going to be digital. We've had that the last couple of years. So you'll be able to get that online and you'll be receiving an email late next week with that information and the links. So you'll be able to follow that process and you'll have your digital ID.
Awesome, very good information. Are bus passes available for students? Am I able to opt out of the bus pass and how do I get the bus pass?
So similar, well, first off, yes, there are bus passes, but similar to student IDs, it will be digital as well. So again, in that email coming out late next week, it will direct you to the web page and through the process, and then you'll have your bus pass. You will need an app for it, and you cannot opt out of a bus pass. That is in your fees and students cannot opt out of that.
All right, last question for you, Kathy. If I'm driving to campus, where do I park and do I need a parking permit?
Okay, so there is parking available at every campus and paid parking is in effect Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So yes, parking permits are required. Students living in residence can apply for a parking permit now. All other students will be able to apply for parking permits beginning on Monday, August 26th at 8:30. Your parking ID, when it asks you that, when you go in to submit your parking request, be sure to put a CC in front of your student number. So it would be CC for Canadore College, then A, and then the rest of your student number. So keep that in mind when you're trying to get through that process. There's maps, on the website to help you determine which lot to request on your parking application. And if your vehicle does not have a valid parking permit or a pay and display tag in your vehicle, it will be ticketed or towed. So you want to make sure that you follow through and get that parking permit done, because you don't want to have to deal with that. Pay and display is for visitors or short-term parking at a rate of $1.25 per hour or $6 a day, available in lot 4.
All right, thank you, Kathy, very
Thank
much.
you, Jay.